What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good New Year's. Welcome back to my channel. This is Phil the Kaiju King from my collection room here in Greater Cincinnati. In this video, I'm doing a 2019 haul of my collection, everything I got into my collection. That would include X Plus, custom sculpts, and 2 Prime 1 figures. That is what I got this year. It's a total of 37, I think, if I counted right. I'm going to start off with the D4Real collection. I've got 19 in my collection, and here is 15, I believe, if I counted right. 15 that I got this year. Now, I think a couple of them actually came out last year. I think the 54 Train Biter with the base, I think it came out in 2018, but I didn't acquire one till this year. I thought the 84 came out last year, but I honestly don't remember. Somebody knows, let me know in the comments, but I think those two there were the ones that were actually released last year. I think everything else on this spinner here is this year, released this year. They're all awesome, all 15 of them here. I love them all. I love this line. Never thought I'd have that many of these. When I started collecting, my focus was basically 30 centimeters and the Gigantics. And I had some 25s. I even started collecting 25s. Then I sold like almost all my 25s. And then the Godzilla 1971 Rick came out, and it blew me away because that is my favorite suit. And I got back into the 25s, and I think ever since then, the 71, the 65, the 64B, they have really proven that the 25 centimeter line has gotten even better, in my opinion. And so I got back into the 25s. I was trying to get away from them, but I got back into them. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to do by each line, basically, my figures I got this year. So I can't get them all on this table. As you can see, they're back here. Everything I got this year's back there, and I'm going to divide it up: 25, D4Real, 25, 30 centimeter, Gigantic, X Plus Gigantics, and then my customs, and then my Prime 1 figures. So that's how I'm going to break it down. But I didn't start collecting until really May of 2017, so 2.5 years ago, and that's when I really got into it. And I got really heavy into it and super duper last year, because I had acquired basically what I call a retirement job. It doubled my pay basically, and it allowed me and afforded me the chance to really increase my collecting power. And that's how I got so many of these and all those customs back there, is just through this job that I got blessed enough with to acquire through my previous work. At my previous job, the same kind of work, just it was a dramatic, life-changing as far as pay scale goes, and that's what allowed me to acquire and collect what I collect now, is that job. So thank God for that. And also thanks to my girlfriend, for Sue Ellen, for putting up with this crazy crap I do. She supports me in it, and she's even bought me some. You'll see 2 of my customs this year were actually birthday presents she got me, so when I get to those. But that's pretty much my backstory with collecting. I started in May 2017, and I rapidly gained all of these figures in that time. But it's fun, and it's a hectic thing to do, and it does involve some money, but to me it's worth it in the end, every penny, every dime. And then meeting everyone in the X Plus group, everybody's awesome there. And then I got this year into doing this YouTube thing. Some of my friends in the X Plus group asked me you should start doing videos on your stuff, and I was kind of hesitant at first, but then finally I started to, and I actually started enjoying doing this. And if you watch my channel from the beginning till now, everything's gotten better, I think, as far as my production and all that. So I'm glad I got into this. And then of course all the other YouTubers, Leslie Chambers actually threw this out for all of us other YouTubers to pursue this 2019 haul video. So that's also the main reason I am doing this, because I find Leslie to be a good friend now, and I've been on a few of his streams, and it's fun. And him and Gojira 851, Super Ghidorah, the Godzilla Files, Jurassic Reviews, Rich ESO, Fresh Vinyl, all these guys, all of them, they're great people. And then everybody in the X Plus group, I can mention names forever. Just I love everybody there. Y'all, I consider y'all my friends, and it's a great time having discussions about this stuff, and it's just awesome. And I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate everybody's collections, whether you've got one or you've got 100. If you've got them, they're awesome. That's the way I look at it. So it's very fun to be in this hobby and in this group, and I love it. And that's pretty much my backstory. It's great collecting these figures, but it's also really great to get to know fellow collectors, and on a personal level, it's really awesome to really interact with people. As far as this lineup, like I said, there are 15 here. I got them all this year. But like I said, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the 84 and the 254 with the base, I think they came last year. Now, if you can correct me, I would appreciate it. But the rest of these were all this year releases. So as far as a favorite of mine, right there, 71, probably the 71 Rick. I've also got the standard here, right there. I double dip because that's my favorite suit. That's probably my favorite release of the year. It's no big surprise. It's my favorite suit. But as far as the most impactful D4Reals, those two right there, Hedra, Destroya. What these prove to me is this line sells really well, in my opinion, my view. This line's selling really well. And these two prove out that we're going to see a lot more non-Godzillas in this lineup. I mean, we've got Anguirus coming, I think in this month, in January, Anguirus and the 55 Godzilla coming out. And then we also have the Orga coming out, the D4Real. So we do have some other non-Godzilla characters coming. Of course, we've got Rodan coming, Mothra, King Ghidorah from the 2019 film, King of the Monsters. So I'm very optimistic about where they might go with this line. What I would like to see them do, what I would like to see them make is some Gamera, I think. Let's see some Gamera. Let's see a Heisei Gamera. Let's see a Showa Gamera. Let's see some Gamera in this lineup, X Plus. That would be cool, I think. I think it would sell too. I would buy it for sure. But I'd love to see some Gameras in this line. We got another Kong coming, battling the octopus. I think that's supposed to come out soon. James Hannon on the X Plus group told me today that it was posted on Vampire Robots that that's coming out like the coming week or something. So I'm going to try to pick that one up too. So we got plenty of Kong, plenty of Godzilla. Let's see some Gamera in this line. So some Gamera and his foes even. Let's see a Gauss. Let's see a Barugon. Let's see those. That would be really cool, I think. But as far as this line, my favorite of the year in the D4Real is the 71 Godzilla. Most impactful are those two right there, in my opinion, Hedra and Destroya, because to me that proves out that this line does sell, like them or not. They are selling, and there's how many more coming? 5 or 6 right now that we know of, I think, at least. And this proves out that they're going to get into other kaiju. And X Plus, for me personally, I like to see some Gameras in this line. I think it would be really, really cool. All right, everybody, I will move on to the 25 centimeter lineup, what I picked up this year, and let's move on to that right now. What's up, everybody? I'm back. Here is my 25 centimeter lineup I acquired in 2019. 5 figures in all. Of course, we got the standard King Ghidorah here, 64, Monster Zero. He is Monster Zero. Then we got beside of him there the 64B suit, 25 centimeter Godzilla. Then the 25 centimeter crawling Varan monochrome black and white version. Then we got the 25 centimeter Orga 2000. And of course his battle of adversary in the movie, the Godzilla 2000 25 centimeter. Those are standard. Both of those are the standard edition. So is the Godzilla B64B suit standard. These are all really nice figures. I know I did pass on some 25s this year, like 25 centimeter Gargantua set like Leslie has. I have the 30s and I'm kind of happy with them, but the 25 centimeter set interests me in the fact that I love the pose of I think Gyra is the one that's jumping in the set there, and it's pretty neat how they do that. And I don't know if that's the set that has interchangeable arms and it looks like they're wrestling each other or not, but that set kind of intrigues me actually. And as Leslie said, is there something you regret passing on? I would say that, and probably also Monster X, the 25 centimeter Monster X from Final Wars. I did not get that either, and those two releases are probably the ones I would probably regret not getting. As far as the previous part of my video, the D4Reals, I pretty much got all of those that came out this year, so there ain't really no regret for me in that respect. But as far as the 25 centimeter line right now, I'm going to say the 25 centimeter Gargantua set or the Monster X as well. I didn't get neither one of those, and I probably will end up getting them down the road, maybe, I don't know. But as far as these five, my favorite I would say is definitely King Ghidorah by far. It's a breathtaking version of the original first King Ghidorah. This is Monster Zero, as Leslie said, and I said also in my review video on my channel. That is Monster Zero. That is the original King Ghidorah. The 68 is very awesome as well, but when you look at this thing and see it, it's definitely a masterpiece. And I also prefer this standard. This is the standard over the Rick, which had the red, white, and blue, because I just feel like this is how he looked in the movie, and it's screen accurate to the suit in the film. But the red, white, and blue aspect's really cool of it. I think that's from the promo pics or whatever, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It looks really cool, but I prefer this here. And actually this I did not pre-order, but I got lucky enough, and a fine gentleman in the group, I think it was Michael Cantu, sold me this. He had it, got it, and decided he was going to sell it, and I got it for a pretty reasonable price considering it was aftermarket. So everything else here I did not pre-order, none of this actually, except for the 64B. I think no, none of these I pre-ordered. I bought all these aftermarket. I bought the Godzilla and Orga on Hobby Search. The 64B I think I got off Hobby Search. And Varan I got off John Paneer from the X Plus collectors group. So none of these I actually pre-ordered, but I ended up getting them all, and they're nice. Like I said, I kept trying to stay away from this line, but my God, they keep coming out with such amazing figures in it. It's hard to stay away from it, because these things are here. These five here are really awesome. But as far as this here, line up to 25 centimeters. I didn't get them all, like I said. These are the ones I do have, and these are all awesome. But my favorite that I got and acquired is King Ghidorah 1964. All right, I'll move on to the 30 centimeter lineup. Let's take a look at what I got this year as far as that line, and let's go ahead and move on to that right now. All right, everybody, I'm back. Here is my X Plus 30 centimeter lineup I've acquired this year. And to be honest, if I'm picking my overall favorite lineup released this year, it is the X Plus 30 centimeter lineup. Overall, the quality of these pieces here to me was great. Starting right there with the FSL Godzilla 62 Walking Pose version 2 FSL. Then we have the very beautiful Godzilla and Sakai Godzilla 1995 X Plus. Then right there is my personal figure of the year from X Plus, the 1966 Barugon from Gamera vs. Barugon. That is the standard edition. Then the 30 centimeter Rick Ibra from Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. And then the 30 centimeter favorite sculptors line Godzilla 1964. That's the Rick with the light up dorsal plates. And last but certainly not least is my runner up to figure of the year, the X Plus Sakai Godzilla 2002 Rick, and that also has the light up dorsal plates. So every one of these except for Barugon are the Rick edition. The Sakai 95, the Walking 62, Sakai 02, FSL 64, Rick Ibra. The only one that is a standard edition would be Barugon. And like I said, overall to me personally, this lineup here, just these are the ones I got. This lineup here is really, really, really top-notch quality overall releases as far as the line. It's my favorite overall line from the X Plus this year as far as releases. I think this 30 centimeter lineup shows the best, overall quality. A lot of people, their figures of the year are here with the Sakai 02 or the 95. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people will be voting for those two figures by themselves. These other four here are not shabby, to be honest. Barugon's my personal figure of the year. Ibra is a high upgrade from the 25. I agree with Leslie Chambers on that. It's much, much better. It's a great figure. Hey, X Plus, we need this Godzilla for this movie, hint, hint. I think William Fett from the Godzilla Files mentioned he would like to see the Rick of the Godzilla for this to be on a water base like Ibra. That would actually be pretty cool, I think. Maybe he separates at the waist somehow or something. That would be kind of cool, actually. Favorite sculptors line 64. I do agree with Leslie on that. That is an underappreciated, underrated figure. It's a pretty nice rendition of the 64, in my opinion. It's grown on me a lot. I actually am kind of liking it more lately than the original release 30 centimeter. I have the original release with the open mouth. I don't have the closed mouth, so I can't point to that closed mouth version. But I actually like this a lot. I think I kind of am waving toward him as far as my favorite 30 centimeter 64 now, because he is a really nice figure overall. But this whole here lineup, to me, was the best overall lineup release that X Plus had this year. As far as the quality of the figures, the diversity of the figures they released in the 30 centimeter lineup, it's really awesome. Alright, let's move on to the X Plus Gigantic series. And of course we only had two, but let's bring them on and we'll take a look at them. Let's do that right now. Alright everybody, here's my two releases from 2019 for the X Plus Gigantic line. Of course, the Rick edition of the Godzilla 1989 that has the open and mouth jaw option and the translucent glow-in-the-dark dorsal plates there. That that came out earlier in the year. And then of course the most recent release in November is this big old hunk of vinyl, the Godzilla 2019 from King of the Monsters. It's very awesome. These are both very, very awesome. Severe contenders for Figure of the Year in the X Plus group. As you can see, probably it's no doubt why, but they're very nicely done figures. So big, especially the Godzilla 2019. I can't even express, I mean, how big he is and bulky and just overall girth. He's a really, really big figure. It's nice though. Mine had some issues with the tail. It still does. My tail's not all the way in, but it's on. It's not coming off. And now there's a split in the vinyl here. Looks like so. A lot of people had issues with his tail, and it was in two parts and two sections, and it just never did go on right. I couldn't ever get it to quite go on right, so I just finally left it be as it is, and I'll probably hardly ever move him around, so hopefully he'll be fine. But for this fact, the 89, his tail is in two sections as well, but it went right together with no issues at all. So it's a smaller tail, but it's definitely as long, if not longer. But if I was going to have to pick one of these two, as far as overall, with everything added into it, I'd have to pick the 89, in my opinion, as far as if I had to pick between the both of them, because the 89 is excellent. It's excellent sculpt. It's nicely done. So is the 2019, don't get me wrong, but the issues I've had with him, it's just, I don't know, like right here is that split in the seam here by the tail, where the tail goes on. It just, I don't know, it's just all those issues I have with it. And other than that though, it's absolutely awesome, and he's a shelf hog for sure, but so is the 89, the way his tail goes off to the right. So but overall, I would definitely have to say that the more easy to deal with, and assembly wise and overall just in that respect. And then the improvement of the jaw here from the 64 gigantic, but definitely the tail application on the 89 gave me no issues at all. I remember mine was even broke off on the about 6 inches into the tail here. It was broke off a little bit, and I glued right back on, no problem. I haven't had any issues with it. So I'd say overall I would pick the 89 just slightly over the 19, just for the simple fact of the issues with the tail. I mean, his tail's on there now. It's not absolutely perfect, but I am not going to mess with it anymore because I don't want to screw it up. Now that looks like it's getting that split in the vinyl right here by the base where the tail goes in, and I just don't want to mess with it anymore. It ain't worth it. So I think mine was defective in some kind of way, because it shouldn't have been that tedious and overbearing to put the tail on. So with that, taking that into account, I do take that into account with this. I would say I would pick the 89 over the 2019, in my opinion. But they're both really awesome. And the Rick on the 2019, like Leslie got and several other people in X Plus group got, that thing does look a lot better than their original photos, in my opinion. All right, everybody, I will move on to the two Prime 1 Studios sculpts, or figures I got this year, and let's move on to those right now. All right, everybody, here are my two acquisitions in 2019 from Prime 1 Studios. I got these through Sideshow Collectibles. Actually, I was making payments on both. Kong was announced, the Kong versus the Skullcrawler was actually announced like in 2017. And you can make payments all through 2018 on it, and I did that. And into 2019. Most of 2018 into 2019, you can make the payments. I did that. And then they come up and said it was ready to be shipped. And I paid it off, got it. And then, of course, I had gotten Gamera right before that. These are both made by Prime 1 Studios, both Well, the Gamera is all vinyl, but he's solid vinyl. He's very heavy. The Kong versus Ramarak here, the skull crawler. Ramarak is vinyl, but Kong and the base are the polystone resin. And Kong is really cool. Has nice fur detail on him, actual fur. It's really nicely done. Both of these are great. Very delicate, especially Kong in my opinion. I don't hardly ever move him. I always have him sitting on top of Gamera's box there. It's just a good spot for him to sit because that box has got a big foam coffin in it and he won't fall, so he hasn't fallen yet. So, but it's really nicely done. Very nice details on it. I'm very glad I got it. It was, I think this thing was $1,000, $999, but with the payment plan over a year, it was like they added in shipping estimates, so it was like $100 a month. So it wasn't too bad. So I'm very glad I got this. It's very dramatic, like the scene in the film when he's battling this Ramarak. Very awesome. Of course, then we got Gamera 99 from the movie Gamera versus Iris. Very nicely done. This is my collection figure of the year. If you watched my figure of the year video, this is my overall collection figure of the year. Then I have my X Plus figure of the year. Really nicely done. Very, very nice details on this Gamera. I couldn't set these on my spinner. That's why I moved my spinner, because it's just too much weight and it would be too wobbly and I was afraid they'd fall. So that's why I just set them on the table. But I do have a video for both of these in the archives of my channel. They're very nicely done, very awesome. Prime One Studios has proved to me that they can do kaiju with these two releases. I'm very happy I got both. And it's like I said, there are some videos in my archives, you can see them there. But these are very, very both highly regarded releases in my view. And this, to me, is my overall figure of the year for my collection. And at the end of this, I will actually, my next part of my video will be my Mark Seng Yang collection. And I'm actually going to go ahead and announce my Mark Seng Yang figure of the year there while I'm doing that, I think. And then at the end, I'll bring up my overall figure, which is Gamera, my X Plus, and my Mark Seng Yang figure of the year for my close on my video. But these are very nicely done. I don't think they're readily available anymore, but I know several people that got the Gamera are very happy with it. A local guy close to me, Eric Henry, got it, and I think it's probably up on his list for figure of the year, I'm pretty sure. But it's personally mine. I'm guessing Leslie Chambers is leaning toward the Gigantic 89 as his figure of the year. I would say Matt Jacobson, Gojira 51 is probably leaning toward the Gigantic 19. Would be my guess, but we'll see what they announce. But I overall, my X Plus figure of the year was Baragon. So, but these two are really nicely done. Prime One Studios proves to me they can do kaiju with these, and I'm very happy I got them. All right, we'll move on to my custom sculpts I got this year from Mark Seng Yang, and let's do that right now. All right, everybody, I'm back. I'm doing my custom Gigantics first, and then I'll do my smaller customs. I got 7 this year. 2 of them were birthday presents from my girlfriend. Thank you, baby. These are the before Gigantics I got customized this year. We have the Gigantic 84 holding the reactor, the Gigantic Godzilla 1968. These are all in scale with the X Plus Gigantic line. The Gigantic Custom Ramarak Skullcrawler to go with my Gigantic Kong, of course. And my Haru Nakajima in the Godzilla suit, the 1972 suit, basically. Custom sculpt. These 4 are the big ones I got from Mark this year. They're very awesome, all 4 of them. They're nicely done. I can tell, like I've said, like from his beginnings to these, his quality really escalated very well, and he will say that himself. So he's doing better and better every time he gives me my work anyway. As far as my collection from him, it bears out very well. So, but these are all nicely done. My Mark Seng Yang custom of the year of the 7 I do have. I was leaning really toward the 68, but I've changed my mind and I'm going with the Nakajima and the suit sculpt, just because it's so special. It means a lot as far as the history of Godzilla, and this guy was my hero, my childhood hero, always will be. And it's a very special sculpt, and it was very nicely done by Mark. And to me, this has become my custom figure of the year that I have in my, of the 7 I got this year from Mark. But these are all very awesome, very awesome, but done, awesome work by Mark. And so are the other 3 I'll bring up. But these 4 here are very nicely done, gigantic scale. And I am going to go ahead and go with this Nakajima in the Godzilla suit sculpt as my custom of the year for 2019. All right, I'll bring up the the 3 other final customs I got from Mark to take a quick look at those, and let's do that right now. All right, everybody, I'm back. These are the final 3 of my customs I had this year of the 7. These are all like 30 centimeters sizing scale. These 2 in the front were birthday presents my girlfriend got through Mark Seng Yang, so I thank you. I love you, baby, for these. This is the Dorat from the 1991 film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. And then Godzilla 1966 when he's sleeping. And on this base, Mark made the base and Godzilla. It's hard to see, but on this base over here, there's a little rock in front of Godzilla, and he sculpted a very tiny Dio in there, very small, but it's there. But it's nicely done. It depicts Godzilla when he's trying to snooze in the movie before he gets attacked by the giant condor and then the military, so the red bamboo. So, and also, those are 2 very awesome birthday presents. And then back here is a small skull crawler from the 2017 film Kong Skull Island. Mark made that for me, and he actually, it was kind of a gift from him. He sent it to me with the gigantic skull crawler I just showed, and it was kind of just a gift. He said there's something extra in there for you, so it was kind of cool he did that. He didn't have to do that, but he did. It's pretty nice. It was just a quick little sculpt. It don't hold the detail that the other one does, but it's just something quick he made real quick, so it's pretty cool. It's a pretty nice little skull crawler. I'll keep it. So but these are the last 3 of my customs I got this year. All of them are awesome. Very nicely done. Very nice work by Mark Seng Yang, these 3 and the previous 4 gigantics. Alright, I'll be right back with my closing comments, and let's move on to that right now. I'm back, everyone, and here are, in essence, my 3 figures of the year in my collection. I'll explain that here momentarily, but I'm sitting back here, I'm just shielded by this awesomeness. Right there is my X Plus figure of the year. Baragon 30 centimeter. And here is my custom sculpt figure of the year of the 7 I got. That is Haru Nakajima in the Godzilla suit 1972. Gigantic scale. And then my overall collection of everything I got this year is the Prime One Studios Gamera 1999. It's a very awesome version of Gamera there. It even trumps Baragon for me personally as far as my collection, overall collection figure of the year, because I had to, that's the way I'm doing it, because I'm segregating, I guess separating X Plus in essence from overall, because overall this is my favorite. If I'm picking one figure of the 37 I got this year, that is the Gamera. And then I thought I'd divide out Mark Seng Yang's customs as well. I got 7, and that became my favorite. It was a 68 until I got this, and I really have been debating on the 2, but I went ahead and decided that this is so special because of what it represents that it would be my Mark Seng Yang custom of the year. Hopefully this year I will get quite a few more from him. We do have a big list working, and I'm hoping I'll get 2 a month from him. That's my hope. Would be nice to get 2 a month for the rest of the year. So, but right now these are basically my 3 figures of the year, and divided into my bracket, so to speak. But overall, Gamera is my collection figure of the year for this year. Very awesome piece of vinyl there. All right, everybody, I will do a closing video that shows everything I got this year. I want to thank everyone that tunes into my channel and supports me, and I'll be here again in 2020, of course. I don't plan on going anywhere. I want to thank everyone, as always, for tuning into my channel. I appreciate everyone's support. If you like this video, you can like it or comment below. This is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room here in Greater Cincinnati, and me, Baragon, Haru Nakajima in the Godzilla suit, and Prime 1 Gamera want to wish everyone a happy new year and happy collecting in 2020. I'll talk to y'all later.